Yeah, give me your Tom Brady sketch. What did you write for Tom Brady?
It was based in the heyday of the NFL. He was the first player after a great play to smack a man on the ass. He was the first one. First, he was the first one to do it.
Somebody gonna cue me or do I cue myself?
Cue yourself.
Okay. Hey everyone, we are back with another episode of Let's Talk Off Camera, so let's get talking. Today we will be joined by the incomparably funny JB Smoove. You probably know him and love him as Leon Black from a little tiny series called Curb Your Enthusiasm, which my enthusiasm for that show is impossible to curb. Or Real Husbands of Hollywood, or from his Emmy-winning role on The Mapleworth Murders. He's now hosting Amazon Prime's new series, Buy It Now, which we will talk about with him later. We are down. One man, Jan is down.
The big man.
Roz is joining us. You are filling in.
Trying to fill in for Jan.
Yes, welcome, Roz.
Thank you.
Very seductive voice. Already, I would dare I say, Roz's voice is more soothing than Jan's. I want to hear you say, "Cue yourself."
Cue yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Get her a WikiFeed profile. Get her an only voice.
On the midnight showing of Let's Talk Off Camera.
Anyway, Roz, how is the baby? Let's talk about
Yes,
pleasant things.
important
He's
stuff.
perfect.
Is he perfect?
He's so perfect.
Oh.
He's so sweet.
He's sweet, yeah.
And we're having him. I think that he's a very easy baby.
Yeah.
But we find ourselves Googling everything constantly.
Why are you Googling? You could just ask me.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was wondering is like, what did you do instead of, what did people do
We
for
didn't have Google.
I know. But
We
like,
didn't have
what
Google.
was the
We
thing?
asked our parents who were wrong about everything. So we did it all wrong.
Right.
But with each child, like by the time we had Joaquin, we were experts
Sure.
because the first one really paves the way for the next children to come along. And the second one, really, you pick up a lot of steam.
Yeah.
By the third one, you're like, I could have 20 children. No problem. Because you just realize they require a lot less fretting than
Yeah.
you think. Like you fret over. I remember the early days, but so you Google a lot.
We
What have you
Google
been
a lot.
Googling?
Yeah.
A lot of, is he too big for this? Like, is he, when do you take him out of a bassinet? Like, when does he start rolling over?
Right.
Is
Well, the
he
second
crying
you,
too
I'll,
much?
I'll answer that question. The second you take him out of the bassinet is when he starts rolling over. Their children are like weird spatial inhabitants that way. The more space you give them, the more they need. It's
Yeah.
like wild. Wow.
And like, how often should they nap? Because he only naps when he's held or in a stroller.
Oh yeah, that's a first child. That's a first
Which
child.
is, I think, is sweet.
No, that's a first child thing. Albert, how are you doing?
I'm good. Did you see the direct message that we got from
Yes,
Benno
I
a
just
minute
saw
ago?
it. I just
Should
saw
I read it?
Let's start at the beginning. Because I like to
Kelly-
find bizarre
so
news articles.
Benno, our GI doctor friend, who we like to check in with often.
And Benno is the greatest dancer on the planet. Okay, let me just say this. And I say, and I don't mean that lightly. I mean, if you want to have a spin around the dance floor
Yeah.
with the best dancer, Benno is the guy.
Well, the two of you together.
He
are-
also happens to be a GI doctor. And when he tells us tales from the emergency room, we are always on the floor because nothing good happens
No.
in your lower digestive tract after midnight.
No.
So go ahead.
So Kelly sends him a picture of a man leaning over and with his hands on his butt holding something in. And it says, man rushed to hospital after stuffing 15 hard-boiled eggs up his bum. And then she does the SOS emoji. And Benno replies and says, did I tell you about the
I love it. Did I tell you about the time?
Did I tell you about the Polish old man who came to the ER with 5 fingerling potatoes in his rectum? We only got 3 out endoscopically.
So my question is, okay, and this is, I am not here to yuck anybody's yum. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. I'm certainly not a prude, for God's sakes. But my question is, what compels a person to I'm not even gonna say what compels a person to put a fingerling potato or a hard-boiled egg up the bum. But what compels a person to put more than one? Okay. Were you playing chicken and you wanted to lay your own eggs?
It's insane.
Why the fingerling potatoes? Because they were shaped like fingers and you couldn't find somebody to date that weekend? I just don't get it.
Oh my God. And on that note.
And on that note, let's get to our guest who, if he only knew what we were talking about.
Sure.
No.
They told me.
This is
They told me cut till the
yes.
tire. That's what they said. They said cut till the tire. That's what they told me.
JB.
Did somebody get it wrong? Somebody get it wrong? Somebody.
JB is Natalie attired as ever. He's got a gorgeous fedora. He's got, are those horn-rimmed glasses? What kind of glasses are those?
You got Tom Ford. It's some Tom
Tom
Ford.
Ford,
Wow.
yeah. Gorgeous suit. Gorgeous suit. Who
Very
makes the
chic.
suit?
Little corduroy.
Corduroy. Yeah, I can't tell the fabric.
And I may be a little too early for California because it's still 85 degrees outside. So,
Yeah, it's gorgeous. You're in the
I don't know if
perfect temperature here in New York.
overdressed. I don't know if I'm
No.
overdressed for California. So it's still kind of sunny and warm out there. I wouldn't wear this outside. This is the
No,
air
this is your
conditioner. This is the air conditioner outfit right here. Air
These
conditioner.
are your indoor clothes.
Indoor clothing. Yes.
Yes, I love that you have indoor clothing. My indoor clothing has now been something that you would see on an episode of Hoarders.
Oh, yes.
Hoarders,
Oh.
yes.
I love
Yeah.
hoarders. Oof.
Me too. What?
Love it.
Okay.
I love it.
So here's my number one question. Do you think you would do well going into a hoarder house and decluttering and getting the people to part with their belongings?
Of course I would. See, here's the problem. It's all about presentation. If hoarders should change their name to make it more pleasing to people, you call it scavenger hunt. You call it scavenger hunt. See, it's all in the title. The title.
Yes.
People would love to see a scavenger hunt. They want to see what you're going to
Yes.
find. You know how many times those hoarders lose wedding rings and they lose things that they wish they
Family
had.
pets. Family
They
pets.
lose everything. You find
Yes.
Fluffy under like 10 boxes, flat as a pancake.
I saw an episode a couple of weeks ago. I saw an episode where the son or the daughter was working with the mother who's kind of in denial. She's like, I'm not a hoarder, I'm a collector. Meanwhile, she's like a stage 5 hoarder. Like Dr.
five.
Robin Zazio was like, this is the worst case of hoarding I've ever seen.
Oh,
And they found a dead water moccasin in the house.
Wow.
So this woman was living amongst venomous snakes in the house, flattened out, dehydrated, skeletonized water moccasin
water
in
moccasin.
the house.
In the
Think
damn
about that.
house. No, that is absolutely scavenger hunt. That's scavenger hunt. See? It's scavenger hunt.
Find the snake. Find the
Find
diamond.
the snake. Find the diamond ring you lost. Find your ex-husband. All kind of stuff is in there.
Find your ex-husband.
Find your ex-husband. That's a good one. So, okay, I just want to talk to JB about what we were talking
Oh, boy.
about.
Brace
before he
yourself,
left.
JB.
So, JB, we have a friend who is a GI doctor. He works in an emergency room, and he always tells us these amazing stories about things that people put in their rectums, particularly after midnight. And I sent him this article that I found about a man that was rushed to the hospital after he stuffed 15 hard-boiled eggs up his rear end.
Wow.
And then he said, did I ever tell you about the Polish old man who came to the ER with 5 fingerling potatoes in his rectum? We only got 3 out endoscopically. So Albert couldn't tell me, Seth couldn't tell me, Roz couldn't tell me anything. I was hoping the guys could tell me. What is the impulse with putting what I would consider appetizer foods up the rear end? Is
I
that
don't know
a
what
thing?
that is. I don't know what that is. I have no
It's not
idea.
that's not a thing, right?
If you're gonna do it, it's gotta be gourmet stuff. You know, it can't be. Deviled eggs. Come on, that's for amateurs. Deviled
Deviled
eggs.
eggs.
Yeah, that's
like
a
that.
horrible food to stick
That's a
up there.
horrible
That's
food.
a terrible food.
Horrible food. It has to be. It can't be anything that can break easy. And doing it yourself is different than doing it role playing or something like that. That's different. Like you, maybe you're a swashbuckling pirate and you're role playing and you're a pirate and you got a patch up your eye, and you
But what
bury
kind of pirate?
the buried treasure up in there. See the buried treasure.
JB, but what pirate is like, bring me fingerling potatoes?
Bring me potatoes. Pirates are very interesting people. They partake in things you would never know that a normal pirate would. But you're talking about
Really?
pirate. Now there's the kind that be on boats, and then there's the
Yeah.
kind that are role playing where your bed is your boat. There's different, big difference, big difference. So a role playing, pirate, dang, that's deep. That's deep right there. That's
JB,
powerful.
JB, have
Oh,
you ever role
ooh.
played pirate? Because you seem like maybe you have.
Let me tell you something. If role playing is very specific.
Okay.
Do you know what my name is in the bedroom?
No, what is it?
Good Time Jerry. That's my name.
Good time, Jerry.
Oh shoot! The jacket's about to come off now.
The coat's coming off.
I'm gonna get loose now. I'm going
Yeah.
down my t-shirt.
Albert wants you to play this character.
Oh,
The pirate's booty guy.
oh! I would put but I wouldn't use I wouldn't use a parrot. I would use a New York City pigeon. I was a pigeon. I feel sorry for these out of work pigeons too. Pigeons, yeah. Back in the days, pigeons had a purpose. They were called courier pigeons. They all
Yes.
had jobs. They were the original Uber, the original,
Uber.
No,
they
but
were
that's
the
true.
original.
They
I
were.
know.
They
The
used them
original
in
email.
wartime. Yes,
Original
correct.
email. That was the original. They were the original email and text messaging. It was courier pigeons. That was the
Yeah.
original text messaging. Now they just hanging around, doing nothing with their lives.
But they say the pigeons, like if a pigeon sees you in Central Park, it knows you. It remembers you.
Yeah, of
Pigeons
course they do.
remember. They remember
Really?
people. Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did or did he not? Mike Tyson train carrier
Oh my God,
pigeons.
he was amazing. Yes.
Right.
They flew in formation. They would fly around the building and all land back at their place of residence. He had a whole condo of pigeons, like a pigeon condo.
You think about Iron Mike Tyson, toughest man, right? Toughest man.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, he used to, people would faint before. Albert, you're too young to remember this, but I remember Tyson fights, and you would just try to see how far it would go into the first round. Would it go beyond one punch? Would it go beyond 3 seconds? Like, it was one punch. And then there was this Renaissance man version of him that had these carrier pigeons that flew in formation, that lived on top of his building, that he trained and like hand fed and loved and cared for. And you're like, the dichotomousness of, if that's a word, of Mike Tyson, it cannot be understated, right?
Some of the toughest people have some of the softest hearts and soft hands. You can't handle a pigeon with hard hands, number one. This man, as tough as he is, I'm sure he has the most conditioned and softest hands in boxing. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. When he holds those pigeons, they feel caressed and loved.
Yeah.
You would think a guy
Yeah.
like that with those hands could crush a pigeon with his bare hands, but no, his hands are soft.
Although you have to,
Have you ever shaken hands with Mike Tyson?
oh,
His
yeah.
hands, yeah, his
Yeah.
hands are not like rocks. They're like regular hands,
Yeah.
just
Yep.
regular hands, just regular
Although
ass hands.
you have to know though, because pigeons are smart, they're intuitive. These pigeons were like, this is Iron Mike Tyson.
Oh, they read the papers.
He's gonna release us. We're gonna fly in formation and come right back, because if we don't want to wind up in that bad hands.
Oh no, there's some animals out there and species of animals are so very smart. Here's what I say all the time. Look, let's just say this. You ever watch ants how they work?
Yeah.
They are so organized. They
Yeah.
are organized. I've never seen you just watch, like you're just sitting there watching how ants do it, how they do their job every day. They work in formation, no one's stepping over each other. They walk in line, if they all have a crumb, they all take that crumb back and they share that crumb. They take that crumb back into that ant mole, what's it called, ant mole?
Yeah,
The
ant hill.
ant hill to the ant hole, and they're organized. Look, that's an organized insect species. Now take this. Now take this right here. Here's where we lose our planet. If 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 if, if the roach had that kind of tenacity and organization, if the roaches ever get this shit together
No,
and
we're
they
gone.
find a
We
way to have the work ethic of a freaking ant, we are lost. That's
yeah,
it. The
that is
planet is
true.
theirs. Everybody knows if a nuclear attack happens, they say the only thing left will be the roaches.
Yeah.
The
Roaches
roaches
can survive
now
anything, but they're not team players. They
they're
are
not.
they are
They haven't
no.
got it together yet. If
Nope.
those roaches ever get the work ethic of a freaking ant,
And yep.
we are lost. I'm telling you something. Organized roaches would be our demise. I'm telling you.
So true. So, we love Leon Black so much from Curb Your Enthusiasm. This is a singular character in my mind. This is a man that steals every scene he's in. Where does the line between the two of you, between Leon and JB, where does it end? Where does it begin and end?
First of all, I would never wear that trash that he wears.
I knew
That's
it.
first. That's first.
That's what Roz said. Roz is like, he would never dress like that.
Look, we both have a cadence, of course, but I think Leon, in the show, he's really dead serious about about how he lives his life.
Mm-hmm.
He's Jerry Smoove is different. I'm a business person. I'm a comedian. I'm an actor. I'm a writer. I'm a producer. I do different things. I dress different, of course, but I think you have
Mm-hmm.
to, like anything in TV, in film, in your life, this is and this goes into what I talk about even on the Buy It Now show. You have to sell yourself. You sell
Right.
yourself first, and then everything else kind of matches. We carry ourselves differently. That dude, that guy right there is a survivor. I always say that
Yes.
if the world was to end, and then just to say the show ended in a TV version of the show, this is a great spinoff idea too. The world ended, right? This guy's a survivor, and you from a satellite in space. You know how they had a camera, and you see the
Yep.
destruction of the world, and you zoom closer and closer and closer, and you see a baby pool, a baby pool upside down, and all of a sudden you see it move a little bit, and then you see someone throws the baby pool off of them, and it's Leon Black. He
Leon
has
Black.
survived the apocalypse. He has survived. He's
Yes.
he's the only one left. He survived
He's the only
somehow.
one. What about, wait, no, but what about Susie Essman? Susie Essman, probably, she was in another baby
Maybe she
pool
was in
somewhere.
maybe a
Yeah.
upside down Amazon box. I don't know. It's something different though.
Yeah. Upside down Amazon box. And
Something
so the
different.
two of you, because
It's something
I
different.
feel like, because when I think about the two people I tune in, when I've seen every episode, and I still say it because I know, like, Curb takes massive hiatuses. So when they're like, oh, that's a wrap on the series, I was like, okay. But I do like the spin-off idea.
Hey,
But, I will wait any length of time for the next season. Like, I don't mind waiting. But the two constants, the reasons that I think the viewers tune in would be you and Susie Essman. You guys have a crackle and a thing that I know, no matter what the storyline is, because sometimes, the storylines are always uncomfortable. They're always amazing.
yeah,
They're always like ripped from real obvious experiences that
yeah,
everybody's had. Because I know this is a very improvisational show.
yes.
So you guys
All
are like,
improvised.
it's all improvised. But the way you two improvise is so it's so much more spellbinding than everybody else's improvisation.
I think you dive in.
No disrespect, but everybody's
Everybody's
great.
amazing. But we're
Yes.
talking about something different. We're talking about, characters that you feel fit where the world is and who are outspoken, based on where the world is. Not that you don't need other pieces, but
Right.
you need your base. Your base has to be two characters that are outspoken, who have timing, they're funny, they can improvise. All those things matter in a great show. And that's my girl right there. We both from Mount Vernon, New York. That's how we roll in Mount
Is
Vernon.
that true?
Very true. Yes, indeed. We're
Oh
both
my
from Mount Vernon. We're
gosh.
both Mount Vernon. We're Mount Vernon. We're Mount Vernon.
Wow.
Yeah, we're Mount Vernon.
Do you think that Curb will come back again? Do you think that Curb will come back again? I know you guys all work on outside projects, you all do other things, but does Larry ever sit down and go, guys, look, in 6 years we're gonna start the new season?
6 years, Larry's going to be 105. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. He ain't that damn old. No, no, no. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna
You
happen.
don't think? What about a movie? Will there be a movie? A film?
You know how many times I've been on other shows and out of the clear blue, Larry just calls and said, I don't think I'm another season. Are you gonna be available? One time I
Yeah.
was doing Curb, I was doing another show and Curb at the same time. So,
Yeah.
you make time for Curb, but it's not,
It's not always at the
yeah,
most convenient
and
time.
it's not something
Right.
you wait around for either. You just got to keep going. We're busy,
Right.
and you find
Right.
time to do it because you love it so much,
Yeah.
and the experience of it was just incredible.
Do you think that starting out now, I know you were a writer on SNL,
Hmm. Yeah.
correct? And did you audition to be a cast member?
Yes. So, with me, I was here in LA. Everybody knows I'm a New Yorker. So I did audition for SNL years ago, and then I didn't
Hmm.
get it. And then this time, and I actually had a deal on the table here in LA, and I went and auditioned for SNL for cast member. So I did make it to the final three. It was myself, Finesse Mitchell, and Keenan Thompson. We were the
Uh-huh.
last three. We did our NBC test, everything. It's one of those things. You do your best, you have fun with it, and you see where it goes at. But for me, and then I went back to LA, waiting for their decision. And then Lauren called me and he said how great I was and how much they loved me. My audition was really great, but we ended up deciding with Finesse and Keenan. I said, oh, this is all good. Those two are my guys. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I'm a cheerleader for everybody. I want everybody to win. Then he said, "Hey, but we did love your audition, and we wanted to find out if you wanted to come in possibly as a writer on the staff." And I was like, "Wow, that's interesting." I said, "Let me talk to my lady about it and see what's going on." Here's how I think. You know, I always try to think of something that makes sense later. And
Yeah.
I never, and I think it was a different time period too. Now, everybody seems to want everything right away, and no one has patience in what they do. The world is going way faster than it was when I started doing stand up and when I was
Yeah.
doing my thing. So I said, you know what? It's going to look good on my resume. Who even says the word resume out loud anymore? Kids can't even write personal, sign their name anymore. It,
Oh, it's
it,
so
it's
true.
crazy.
Oh my God.
Who says that anymore? But I said, you know what, this will look great on my resume. And I said, you know what, I called them back. I said, you know what, I always said to myself, if I could do the same thing I'm doing in LA, in New York, I would take it. And I think I put the words into the universe, and that came back to me. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna get in there, have some fun, see what I can do. But also, I wasn't a writer. I wrote for myself. I wrote my jokes for
Hmm.
stand up, but I wasn't a
Right.
writer. So I really had to dive in and learn.
Learn how to do that.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
you're diving into something that's already running. It's not something brand new. This is a legendary show that they work a certain way, and you got to get in there and you got to find your way. You're like a new person coming in there, just like Vanessa and Keenan. They're
Right.
brand new. They got to get their
That's right.
footing amongst these cast members. I had to get my footing amongst these amazing writers. And there was a few of us who were new writers, but I really had to find my way because I'm so used to being JB in front of the camera that
Right.
I gotta sit back and make sure why I took this job makes sense later, and it did make sense later.
But JB, don't you think it's way like I'm going to use this word that everybody hates, but don't you think it's chicer to be a writer in that circumstance? Like I feel like in my mind, the writers have all the power on that show. The writers set the tone of that show.
The
You
writers
know.
do. Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
writers too, and you got to jockey and try to figure out a way of getting your stuff on air. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get a lot of stuff on air. I did not.
Mm.
But I was the king of the pitch. When I stood up, he would go, you all get in Lauren's room, his office, and you have your host. They're sitting in a little reclining chair. They turn around and introduce to you. So, he's our host this week. And okay, cool. And Lauren just calls one person at a time to pitch. And I was always next to last. Always stood against just the right side of the room. And I would go, and then Keenan would go last. Every week, I would go, and then Keenan would go last, and that was and I would always perform all my pitches. I would stand up, and I would pitch all my pitches. I would stand up and do them. So for me, it was always a performance for me, and
Yeah,
everybody
of
would just
course.
wait.
Right.
Everybody just wait for JB to pitch the craziest things in the world, and I would really play to the audience of these writers in the room. So for me, it was always, you know, um, it's always a
With the
challenge.
advanced idea of like maybe
Yeah.
winding up on
Who
camera.
knows? And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I had the New York hustle when I got there.
Yeah, of course.
I was a writer.
Yeah.
I did monologues. I did warm up for 2 seasons. I was there out of the three. I did Conan
Wow.
O'Brien down. Conan was downstairs. I did Conan probably 10 times just as a writer. He would call upstairs. I've worked with Conan before, and I worked with his head writers before. And when they found out I was upstairs behind a computer, they're like, "Wait a minute, JB's upstairs writing?" And he would always call Lauren's office and ask, "Can you borrow me for an hour or two?" I would get in the elevator, go downstairs, do a sketch
So you're
on
like a
Conan.
relief pitcher. You're like a
They
relief
would
pitcher
call
for
me
the
up. Yeah,
other
I was
shows.
late picture.
Wow.
I would go downstairs, do
Wow.
Conan, finish that, and come back upstairs and finish working. So I learned so
Unbelievable.
much from that show because you're talking about live TV, talking about pace, all that. I didn't get a lot of stuff on air. I'm not gonna lie, but look,
Did you have a favorite
learned a lot.
host to write for?
Man, they were all some amazing people, man. I really like the legendary people. The
Mm.
young people were different. I'm trying to think who
Yeah.
was. What I did like writing for was the sports people. I just love. I think athletes are freaking hilarious. That when you find their personality,
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. The
sometimes
funny ones are
the
funny.
funny ones are
Yeah.
funny. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was I had some really funny sports sketches that never made it. You know, I remember I wrote one for Tom Brady. I think he did the show twice, maybe. But
Okay,
every
give me your Tom Brady sketch. What did you
Oh
write for
man,
Tom Brady?
this was a great one. It should have made it. It was based in the heyday of the NFL, the AFL,
Okay.
NFL, all those leagues, and he it was it was set in the 40s or whatever, 30s, whatever, and
Okay.
he was the first player after a great play to smack a man on the ass. He was the first one. First, he was the first one to do it.
It's brilliant.
And nobody understood why he kept doing that to people. Why you keep doing that? Good play. Pow on the ass. He would keep doing it, and no one understood why. So it was I'm telling you, good play, smack on the ass was way before his time. He was way before his time. And so he became the only player in the NFL AFL to get traded to every single team because they kept nobody. We understood why is this guy doing this? Nobody understood it. Somebody had to be the person to do it first, and he was the first one to do it. And
Why wouldn't they make that? Why wouldn't they make that?
I
That's
don't know.
so
I don't
good.
know. I had so many legends. When I tell you my pictures were, you know what I think too? I think sometimes as a comedian, I think in some weird way I was writing sketches that only I could do.
Right, right.
I think that that's possible. I mean, I got so many of them that never made it. The guy who used to work in a bank for years, he was a
Okay.
bank tellers. They just they counting money all day. They're counting money. For some reason, people got I don't know who started doing this first. They started counting money, and he got used to doing this. All right, and then he left the
Yep.
bank.
Licking.
He left the
Yep.
bank, and he opened a sandwich shop. He started making sandwiches, but
Oh
he could not
no.
stop licking his thumb. You know,
So
he said, "You
he
want salami?
can't
You want
make the
salami on
sandwich
that?"
without
He
licking
kept
his.
doing this. Then the customer will say, "Hey, hey, hey, hey! You keep licking your fucking thumb." What's so really, really?
I can't believe they wouldn't
Another
make
one.
that
Another one.
sketch.
This right here.
I mean, that is crazy.
Once in a while, this is so funny. So once in a while, I would be at a party somewhere, and I would see like some of the head writers from that I used to work with years ago. They would be on the
Yeah.
other side of the room, and I would see them and go,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, what's up?"
Yeah.
You know, and
Yep.
they would go, and I would always crack up. It made me laugh every time.
JB, so what you listeners at home don't get to see is that when JB was talking about being a bank teller, this is off camera, like I said, JB. So I'm explaining what you just did that we're laughing
It's
about.
genius.
So he's licking his thumb and counting out the money the way bank tellers do, licking his thumb and counting out the money. Bank teller then gets the job at the sandwich shop. He's now licking his thumb and putting the salami on the sandwiches. And then when he sees the writers at a party, he points to them like, "Hey man, what's up?" And they look at him and just lick their thumbs.
It's so brilliant. It's so
Well,
brilliant.
here's what it is. If I ever get the opportunity, knock on wood to the universe, if I ever get the opportunity to host a show, what I
You
would
have
what I
to.
would do is here's what my idea is. I would do a musical monologue of all my pitches that didn't make it, all of them.
Oh,
Urine Detective. I mean, I got
Wait, what's
so
urine detective? Please tell us urine
Oh,
detective.
Urine Detective. I wrote that for Johnny Knoxville when he was going to be the host. You know, Johnny Knoxville, he'll do crazy shit
Yeah, right,
on
of
his show.
course.
You know what I mean? On Jackass, man. So I wrote. He was a detective, and he would solve crimes based on your urine sample. So he would taste your urine sample and say,
oh no.
this man didn't do this murder, but he did a lot of other shit. You know what I mean? It's like he knew.
Oh my
That is
God.
amazing.
Helicopter Family. Helicopter Family was this family, this couple that met in the military. They were helicopter pilots in the military. They fell in love, and then they were discharged from the military. Now they have a family, but they were in helicopters so much that for the rest of their lives they hear the blades, and they were always so they would be at Thanksgiving dinner leaned over, and they was like, where's the cranberry? And the wife said, "I'll go get the cranberry." And she would run. Everybody ran
Ran
and,
down,
and they
crouched down.
crouched down like they were in a helicopter. So it was like, oh God, I
Why
love.
don't you call Lauren and
I
pitch
mean,
yourself
keep
as the
repitching
host?
these. Oh
Look,
yeah.
I got things to do. I got things to do. But we're gonna do JB's Black Book, which is a book it's a little book they gave us, when we first got there as writers. They gave us a little teeny tablet to write our ideas down, and we would pull it out when I'm pitching in the room. And that little book is filled with so many sketches that never made it, and they're all to whoever it is who's in the room. Each one of them has a fondness in the heart of every writer. They will bring up one of them, well, no matter what it is, they'll just bring it up. Remember that sketch you wrote? Remember that sketch? So I'm gonna do something called JB's Black Book one day. It's gonna be all these
Would you
crazy
do
ideas.
that? Would you do that for Amazon?
I'm we having a look. I'm looking forward to this amazing relationship with Amazon.
Yeah.
Starting with the Buy It Now
Right.
show, and we have been talking about all kinds of fun stuff to do together one day. And they're really great people, and I really think this Buy It Now store is going to really show the range and the fun that the person you need to do a show like this has got to love people and has got to know how to sell themselves and their product. So when I'm talking to these amazing people, these entrepreneurs on this show, I'm I'm pitching them. They're
Yeah.
pitching their
You're
product. I'm pitching them.
you are the perfect person to, so you're like a host slash, what would you say, mentor? Do you like,
I'm a little bit of everything for these people because
you're like the
I
MC of
can't,
this show.
right. I'm the host. I cannot play favoritism. The playing field got to be even. This is up to them to pitch their product for 90 seconds. It's up to you.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Buy It Now. Explain to me
Oh,
what
this
we're
is great.
watching.
What you're watching is this. Entrepreneurs who have amazing products are going to come on this amazing show and pitch for 90 seconds in front of an amazing group of 100 real consumers, right? Real consumers. These consumers all have a light on their chair that's green and that's red. While you're pitching, they get a chance to judge your product. They're going to judge you and your product. This product has got to show different levels. All these things that make people want to buy your product. And number one thing is going to be the price.
Right.
The price got to match. Some people will get all these green lights because, wow, that's a great idea. And then all of a sudden I'll say, oh, well, let's not go any further. Here's a question that everybody in this audience is going to, in their brain, they want to know price. And all of a sudden they pitch the price. If that price is too high, you know what happens? All those green
The red
lights,
lights come on.
those green lights go
Ah.
from green to red.
So first the person comes out, pitches the item. The item is something that is like, it can be
It can
anything,
be
right?
anything.
It can be
Some of these
right,
products are
anything.
some of these products are really great. They're great and
Right.
they're great problem solving products. And then you gotta get 10 or more green lights to be able to move on to our celebrity judges and also
Okay.
one Amazon rep, right? One executive from Amazon and two more just great entrepreneurs like Jamie Siminoff and Gwyneth Paltrow and Anthony Anderson and Christian Soriano and Tony Hawk and all these amazing Tabitha Brown. These are people who are successful in what they do,
Right.
and they are the
Right.
perfect mentors, perfect people to give you advice on your product. Your job, my job, is to present these people, show you what they have done, pitch their product, pitch them as people who are on their journey to become amazing entrepreneurs like these guys are.
90 seconds is not a long time to get to pitch your life's work.
Get to the point, and
Right.
bam, bam, bam. You need two of these celebrity judges in order for you to get into the Buy It Now store.
They should do the final champion round where you get to spend a week on the Jeff Bezos yacht.
Ooh.
Come on.
See, you're thinking. You're thinking.
Let me ask you, if you're a contestant on this show, you JB Smoove, what product what thing would you invent to pitch on this show? What would be your thing?
This is my thing. You ever go to a football game? You watch the college games on TV, and they have those number
Yeah.
one. We're number one. Those sponge
Foam
gloves, and people,
fingers. Yeah.
the foam finger. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're number one. Now, of course, it's amazing for football season, but what do you do with it after football season? You make it durable enough that you can reuse this finger next year. But see, now you take that number one finger, and it is a loofah. It's a loofah,
Great idea.
and you lather it up and wash your ass with that thing. See, you
We're
wash
going
your
back
body
to the
with that
beginning.
number one finger. So
Yeah.
a finger is usable, reusable. You use that in the
Yes.
shower, and it lathers up really good. It holds a good amount of suds, and you And
It's a
also,
great
it could
idea.
also be a sponge to clean around the house.
Sponge, yes.
And then, but a loofah, ooh wee. Then football season starts again next year, and you got the same damn finger rubbing it. Yeah, be number
Yeah.
one. After
It's
you,
a great idea. I would buy
after you
that.
wash your ass with it already,
Yes,
but it doesn't matter.
exactly.
That's your finger. That's your finger. It don't matter. Number one. We're number one. See,
You could probably,
reusable products, problem solving. That's a problem solver
and
right there.
it's cost effective. It's what is it called? It's a green product. It's sparing the
It doesn't go
environment a
back to
lot
the
of waste.
landfill.
Right.
You're saving
Right.
the environment. It doesn't go back to the landfill.
That's right.
You know how many T-shirts. Look, Super Bowl. They when the teams make those T-shirts
Before they win. I
before they
know.
win, and they gotta take all the loser T-shirts. They gotta go. They just donate them around the world
I
to
know.
needy people, and you're walking around with a loser T-shirt on. Isn't it a damn shame?
Listen, to me, it's like if you're in the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter if you're first or second. I'd wear the second place T-shirt. I don't care.
Here's
I'm
the
just,
thing. What
yeah.
they don't do is they don't make wear number two foam hands. They don't. Where's that at?
You know what? They should make a wear number two. That way, when you do
Where
number
is
two, you
where
have your
is
number
that one?
one foam finger for washing your front
Your
parts and your number
yeah,
two foam finger for washing your back parts.
you wear both. See that? You got one. Pow, pow, pow. See that?
Now, you and your wife are vegans. Is that true?
Vegana. We're
Huh?
vegana. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
vegans. Yeah.
And for years and years. So,
I was part-time vegan, full-time carnivore for years.
and then how did
And then
did your wife transform you?
yes, I mean I'm living in a household that she only cooks vegan food. I
Right.
had to, now she was vegetarian for 17 years
Mm-hmm.
and then she became vegan for the last, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was a nice transition. So I've been vegan since for 8 years now.
Mm.
Full-time vegan for 8 years now. So it is absolutely amazing.
I'm
Amazing.
vegetarian, but a lot of people always say, "Oh, you're vegan," and I'm like, "I'm not vegan," and they don't understand the difference. Like I
They don't
have
know the
I
difference.
have dairy. I eat dairy products all the time,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't eat like animal. just don't eat
yeah,
animals.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I will have like cream in my coffee. Do you remember that movie about was it the Peruvian soccer team where the airplane crashed? What was it called? It's called Alive. Do you remember this movie, Alive?
Alive.
Alive.
Oh, alive.
Yeah.
When the plane crashed in the mountains
Yeah.
and the people had to start eating each other.
And so
Ooh.
Mark and I, we watched that movie and we look at each other and I was like, "Oh my God, that's hell. I would starve to death." And he's like, "You'd starve to death?" And I go, "Yeah, I would starve to death because I don't eat chicken. Can you see me eating Susanna, my seatmate on the plane?
Susanna.
You know what I mean?" I'm like, no, I would starve to death." And he goes, "Oh, come on." And I go, "I would starve to death." He goes, "If you and I were on an airplane and crashed, you wouldn't eat me." I go, "No, I wouldn't eat you." And I go, "Would you eat me?" And he goes, "Of course I would." Without missing a beat, he goes, "Of course I would." I go, and then I said to him, "Mark, would you wait for me to die? Or would you start while I was still kind of, you know what I mean?"
See,
Tells you a
here's
lot.
here's another thing. It's hard to eat a person if you don't have no damn sides. You ain't got no sides.
Right, no
You need
sides.
you need some. If you have some sides, you might can say, okay, I'll mix it all together, and I won't think about my wife. I'm eating her if I have some sides.
Maybe the guy
You
he's
know,
eating has some fingerling potatoes.
some pasta, something like that. It just, some pasta, some rice, some gravy. Gravy conceals
That's
a
good.
lot. People
Gravy
forget
does conceal a
the
lot.
power of gravy. Gravy will cover up anything, you know. But you know what? That's a hard one. You gotta put that. You know what? That should go in your vows when you're getting married.
I promise
If
not to eat you if we survive a plane crash.
or is it cool if I eat you?
I promise you
If the
can eat
world
me as long as I'm dead.
You got to ask those questions. You got to
Yeah.
put that. You got to put that in writing. Is it cool if I eat you Are you cool with it? You know, if we crash or something happens weird,
Those are beautiful vows. I would, you know what I want?
I'll give you permission.
Upon my death, I would like for Albert. I always thought you would write my eulogy, but now I'm
Yes.
thinking I want JB to write my eulogy because he's gonna put like one step more subversive and freakier shit in my eulogy. So you two work together. You'll work it out together upon my untimely death. All right, JB, will you do me a favor and play a few rapid fire? This is it's not a game. We just ask rapid fire questions. First thing that comes to your mind. You ready?
Ooh. Okay, let's go.
First paying job.
First paying job. Ooh, perfumer.
Oh, that's a great job.
Wow.
Perfumer.
Did you make it? Did you
After-
sell it?
Everything. After school, my first after school job, I worked for a perfumery. My boss was 75 years old, Italiano, and taught me everything that was about perfume, how to mix it, how to test it, how to get the ratio of alcohol
The notes.
I learned all the, I mean, lavenders, the rosemary, all these different things. As a 15-year-old kid, I learned how to make freaking
Do
perfume.
you have a signature scent?
I like, you know what? I like woody, masculine smells because I feel like I want something that makes you turn your head. Like, wow, what's that? I like what's that, which is a great name for a perfume.
What's that?
Yeah. Oh,
You need to
see?
sell that. That's your product that you sell. But buy it now. It's called What's That by JB Smoove. Okay. Childhood celebrity crush.
What's that? Childhood celebrity crush? Oh, Diane Carroll.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
God.
classic beauty.
Yep.
Amazing talent.
Yep.
Classic. I fell in love with that movie, Claudine.
What poster did you have on your wall as a kid growing up?
Ooh, the person on my wall as a kid, Bruce Lee.
Oh,
Bruce Lee.
Lee.
Yay! Bruce Lee all day. Come on now, Game of Death. Come on, the yellow
That's
with the
exciting.
yellow sweatsuit on, jumpsuit. Man, come on, man, come on.
Bruce Lee is a good one.
When Bruce Lee got kicked in the chest by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Who was your first kiss?
Oh God, my first kiss. Ooh, I don't know it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember. I think it got all kind of mixed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do know it was at a basement party with a red light. We had a red light in the basement party, and I might have kissed 2 or 3 girls that night. So it got kind of mixed up. I don't know which one.
You guys are too, I'm telling you, like, you're just a little, Roz, you're way too young. You go into the basement. Some of us had basements that were just cement, like a straight up basement, just cement. You could sometimes roller skate in there, but it's pretty dingy and grim. Some of the basements were nice. They had wood paneling.
Oh.
That's where you would see the red
Yeah.
light. The red
Oh
light
my
would
God!
be on.
The red light bulb in there.
Yep.
You take the regular light bulb out, and when you party, you put the red light bulb in. Get a
That was it.
Little DJ. Oh my! That was it. Everybody slow dancing. Oh
Yep.
man, it was whew, amazing times.
This is the final one. Final one. What is something that you just can't live without?
Ooh, can't live without. Jeez. Oh, I think it has to be someone close to me. It has to be someone that I know I would be ruined without them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you have to put your family.
Yeah.
You know, your family has to be above all.
Yeah.
My family is above all things. You know, and I think that's the number one thing that people need to hold close. You know.
Beautiful. Well said. Well said. Thank you for doing this podcast with us. This was fun. And don't forget, listeners, check this out. JB has a new show. It's on Amazon Prime Video. You buy it now. It's called Buy It Now. You don't buy it now. You could buy the items though, right? Potentially.
You can buy those items. They
You can
will be
buy those
available.
items. JB Smoove, thank you so much. Oh, and don't forget, he's not going to talk about this yet, but don't forget to also pre-order JB's comedy special on Amazon called JB's Little Black Book. Coming soon. Coming soon. I'm just putting it out there into the universe.
I might call it Good Time Jerry.
Oh, Good Time Jerry. Thank you so much, JB. Love talking to you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, JB.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was fun. Roz, it is your turn to close us out.
Close it out, Roz.
I did it last week.
No, but
You're in the hot seat,
does
Roz.
Seth want to do it?
Well, that's it. Don't forget to rate, review, and tell your friends to subscribe. And remember, 5 stars are mandatory. Can't wait to talk off camera next week. Bye.
That's great.
Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa is a production of Melojo Productions with help from Goat Rodeo. Our theme song is Follow Me from APM Music. From Melojo, our team is Kelly Ripa, Mark Consuelos, Albert Bianchini, Jan Chalet, Devin Schneider, Michael Halpern, Jacob Small, Roz Therian, Seth Gronquist, and Julia Desch. From Goat Rodeo, our team is Kara Schillen, Megan Nadolski, Max Johnston, Isabel Kirby McGowan, and Rebecca Seidel. Additional sound design by Terrence Bernardo. This show is powered by Stitcher.